Shabbat Shalom. The book of Bereshit, the book of Genesis, is a book of learning about family and family dynamics. We have relationship issues between husband and wife, between parent and child, and between siblings and the sibling rivalries. And this is clearly described in our Parasha of Toldot. In our Parasha, we're introduced to the twins, Jacob and Esau. Esau is a hairy boy. He loves to be outside, in the gardens, in the fields, running around, hunting. Yaakov, his brother on the other hand, may be his twin, but he likes to spend time at home. He likes to spend time studying with his books. Ish tam yoshev oalem, he's described as a simple person. Yaakov and Esau, the two boys, are loved unequally by their parents. Where Isaac loves Esau, kitzaid b'fiv, and Yaakov and Rivka ohevet et Yaakov. Rivka loves Jacob. So what are we supposed to learn from this? What exactly was it about Esau's character that Yitzchak loved? We are told in a fascinating verse that Yitzchak, as he becomes old, becomes blind. And we know there's a thing called physical blindness and also being blind to the facts. Esau is loved by Yitzchak. Why? Ki tzayid b'fiv. The word tzayid means to entrap. And the Midrash describes two different ways in which Esau trapped. The positive description is as follows. He was a wonderful and amazing hunter. He was able to capture the right type of animals. And he prepared these animals for his father. Yitzchak loved his meat. Esau brought him the best cuts. Kitzayid b'fiv. But the rabbis show another side to the story, which I think is fascinating. Kitzayid b'fiv means that Esau entrapped his father Isaac. That Isaac never really appreciated what Esau was all about. The Midrash describes like this. There's a law in Judaism which says that when we have a produce, for example, wheat or fruits, we have to take what is called trumot and ma'asrot. A certain percentage has to be given to the Kohen, and a certain percentage, a tenth, has to be given to the Levite. Esau comes to his father and says, Abba, what's the law about melach, salt? Do we tithe melach? Do we tithe salt? Now, salt is a mineral. It does not grow, and the trumot and ma'asrot are only supposed to be taken from that which grows. Yitzchak listens to the question of Esau and says, wow, what an amazing kid. This child is so careful and scrupulous in his mitzvot that he's even asking about melach, salt, whether we tithe it or not. Kitzayid b'fiv, Esau entraps his father Yitzchak. We are told as follows, that there was one mitzvah that Esau kept more than any other. No matter how he related to others in the field and what he did, and the Midrash is full of descriptions of how bad Esau was. He loved his father, respected his father, and his honor for his father certainly bears mention. So what's the message that I wish to share with you today? Is that you can have an Esau who walks around, and we have to ask ourselves a question, what does Esau look like? Most of us picture a hairy beast, long mane of red hair, wild, inarticulate, gruff, rough, right? And we take this description from the story at the beginning of our parasha. Yaakov is at home busy making a pot of lentil soup. Esau comes home to feel exhausted. He says, just pour some of the red stuff down my throat. I'm exhausted, I'm famished. We see an uncouth and ruffian. That's the easy way to identify an Esau. But Esau, being the trapper, we know that people who are involved in trapping have to be very cunning. And Esau certainly was cunning. He was able to confuse his own father to give him the blessing, thinking that this was the child that should be the rightful heir of the Jewish people. Rivka, his mother, had two insights. Number one, she had received a message, a prophecy, that Yaakov would be the chosen one. But she also saw through Esau's behavior. See, she was able to see through his ruse. The reason was that she had grown up in a house of Lavan. And we know Lavan is the trickster, as we'll read about next week's Parasha. Lavan the trickster teaches her, and when she looks at her son Esau, she says, this is the same character. This is a negative one. What he's doing is he's entrapping you. But Yitzchak doesn't see it. Yitzchak believes in the goodness of every single person. When it comes to Esau, he thinks Esau will use his koyach, his strength, his character trait to make a difference, make the world a better place. Rivka says, you're reading too much in the situation. He never will be able to do that. And thus the warning from our parasha is as follows. Beware of Esau. There are going to be people in our lives that will try to entrap us, who will try and make us do things and put us on a path where we're going to be really uncomfortable. And we'll think we're doing it to help others. And in the meantime, we are just doing damage. Watch out for the Esau. Watch out for the one who comes inside the fiv, brings you great gifts, brings you presents, brings you great food, asks you seemingly intelligent questions. But be wary that maybe it all is a ruse and he's just hoodwinking you. Shabbat Shalom.